In today's video, I'll tell you how you can prepare your managers to use your engagement tools to deliver the best possible results. Hello and welcome to episode 9 of our free employee engagement video series. I've learned over the years that the success or failure of your employee engagement initiative rests more on your management team than on anything else. Now, your initiative can be designed based on the most comprehensive and up-to-date research, but if your managers aren't using the tools you provide them and using them right, well then your initiative will fizzle out and really will deliver little or no results. I believe that old habits will beat new ideas every day of the week. So it's vital in the early stages to invest the time, energy and money in developing new habits in your management team around engagement and enablement for their teams. Now, that's easy to say, but very difficult to do in reality. So in this video, I present my recommended approach for how you can empower and invest in your managers in this way to build success from the get-go. To equip them to play their part, you'll need to inform, involve and train them. Now, episode 6 covered a lot of important details around the informing and involving bits. So in today's episode, I'm going to cover the training part. Now, essentially what you're going to have to do is develop a particular set of knowledge, skills and attitudes in your management team. From a knowledge perspective, they need first of all to understand deeply the theory behind engagement, why it's important, how it works, what its definition is, everything that I discussed in previous episodes. On top of that, we need to build in how engagement and enablement impacts their stakeholders. So not just what is engagement and enablement, but what difference it makes. This is important around the why of the efforts that they're making. And finally, on the knowledge side of things, although there are many, we'll restrict this to 3 main ones here. They of course need to know every nook and cranny or every corner of the engagement initiative itself, including the tools, the wider process and those pillar goals and targets that I discussed in episode 7. So skills-wise, the first skill to develop is that of asking powerful questions. Now remember, I described the check-in process before, and remember that is a conversation with a purpose. There are prescribed questions to ask. So managers need to be skilled and practiced in asking those right questions in the right way. I think a human tendency, let alone a tendency for managers, is that left to our own devices, we ask questions to confirm what we think we already know, and that's no good. The questions are designed to uncover the things that we don't know, and that gives us the tool, or the information and the data that we need that will improve engagement and enablement for our teams. Of course, once the manager has the skill of asking those questions, not every team member or employee will be as comfortable or capable in contributing their answers and their responses. So the second skill to develop is the skill of encouraging interaction from quiet or reluctant employees. And so we need to develop time getting the skills of using silence and probing questions and things like that. And the final skill then to cover is the skill of keeping the conversation focused. So yes, one challenge is a quieter or more reluctant employee, but other employees are more vocal and will have more to say, be it good or bad. And it's important that a check-in conversation is focused and follows the kind of the process and the prescribed steps that we've laid out in previous episodes. So we don't want an overly formal interaction, but we certainly want a structured interaction. And that's a skill that needs a lot of practice. And finally, on top of the knowledge and skills, which are very important, you want to instill your managers with a set of winning attitudes. And to me, over the years, it's the attitude piece that determines the success in a team more than anything else. If a manager presents themselves to their team using these tools with the right attitude, they're going to be far more successful than somebody else who maybe has the knowledge and skills edge over them, but has a poor attitude. So to me, this is the winner. And the first port of call here is to do everything we can to instill our managers with an attitude of enthusiasm and positivity. If they can bring that to the process, that's half the battle won. Now, it's easy to say but hard to do, and what I've done is created a PDF with 10 practical steps, but I'll explain that in a few minutes. That'll help you to actually do this. But for now, let me just label it. First winning attitude is positivity and enthusiasm. Next attitude that's going to set your managers apart is an openness to discovery and an openness to learning and growing. This does two things. I think the big benefit is that when a manager comes to a team member and conducts a check-in or any conversation, if they position themselves as not knowing all of the answers and not seeing everything that the employee sees, but that they're open to hearing it, that builds massive amounts of trust. Okay, so the first benefit is that it's building trust and buy-in across the team. And the second benefit is that it gives huge insight and helps them to gather what I call the actionable intelligence that they can then take action on to improve levels of engagement and enablement for their team. So second winning attitude is an openness to discovery and learning and growing. On top of this enthusiasm and positivity and their openness to learning and growing, managers are going to have to develop an attitude of commitment. And there are two legs, I suppose, to this commitment for me. The first part is that they use the tools consistently. And by consistently, I mean regularly and in the same way across their team, according to the schedule and the process that's been agreed. Okay, so consistently, but also persistently. In other words, sticking with it, even when it's hard, into the long term. And that's where the results come. So final attitude is an attitude of commitment where they use the tools consistently and persistently into the future. So like I just said, I've developed a free PDF to go along with this video for you. If you click the link that's at the bottom of the video here, you can download it, and there you will learn 10 practical, simple steps that you can take to develop this set of knowledge, skills and attitudes in your management team. As I said at the start of this video, your management team are the biggest factor in the success of your engagement process going forward. So by investing in training them like this up front, you're not just going to increase the likelihood of achieving your targets and getting great results out of the process, but you've got the double benefit of increasing their levels of motivation and commitment. And remember, for us, that's our definition of engagement. You're going to increase their motivation and their commitment by investing in them in this way. Now, if you need some help in designing or delivering this sort of training, or designing your employee engagement process as a whole, now you know where I am. And in the meantime, I will see you in the next video, where I'm going to describe to you the best approach that I've learned to handle your disengaged employees. So until then, take care, and I'll see you in episode 10.